Hello everyone, I'm the Fat Angry Geek, and welcome back to Kaiju Movie Differences. Today's movie, we're going to be going to Godzilla Raids Again. Yeah, you might have You might have thought that the English version would actually make some effort into making a version of Godzilla Raids Again. But no, they messed up big time on this one. I can't even stand to watch the English version. I can't stand it. They call Godzilla Gigantus. They made Godzilla sound like Anguirus at times. For some reason, like when Godzilla opens his mouth and to roar, he sound like Anguirus. And that's not right for me. It has to be perfectly edited. I could make a better English version than the English did on people in America did this on. It's known as Gigantus the Fire Monster over here. I don't know why, because they should realize that probably didn't have the rights to Godzilla at the time. I'm not sure, but somehow they did have the rights to the first Godzilla movie, but apparently not to the second one. I don't understand it too well, but anyways, Japanese version, it's fairly good. I love the Japanese version better than the English version. The English version is so Americanized that it's just stupid to watch. Like, seriously, if you had a favorite monster and someone was pronouncing him in a different way, I think you'd be a little bit peeved off too, because it's really not a good idea to change the name of the monster when the monster looks like the monster that came out in 1954 in theaters in Japan. It just doesn't make any logical sense. As Mr. Spock would say, most illogical. But yeah, it's a good movie nonetheless. There's this part in the movie where I remember those three bank robbers, or three people. They were basically three prisoners that escaped from a police car, and they remind me of the Three Stooges because of how silly they act. But yeah, the budget I believe was not all that good here either, considering the fact that Godzilla and Anguirus look like they are fighting while smoking crack or something, because maybe they might have taken some cocaine, because they're like really hyperactive, because the suits and the designs, they just like move them all around and stuff, and it's silly, but I like it. But anyways, back to the English version. I just don't like how they did the movie itself, because like this movie, the English version of this movie is 10 times worse than the English version, the edited version in the original 1954 classic. Just doesn't make sense to me. Well, I bet you're probably going to be telling me in the comments section that you probably like the English version or not, but I don't know how anyone could, but it's entertaining, despite the English version being heavily edited and made Godzilla turn into Gigantus, the fire monster. It just boils my blood. It just does. I don't like whenever a monster is given a different name when people know that it's Godzilla, or when they know that it's Gamera. I mean, it just doesn't seem right to me. But yeah, Godzilla Raids Again. I highly recommend that you get this movie. This one in particular, because getting this along with the English version is actually nice, even though that I don't watch the English version. I usually watch I watch it in Japanese with English subtitles. Can't even speak today. But yeah, that's usually how I watch movies these days. I watch them in their original language because it seems special to see it in their original language. And plus, the other difference between the English and Japanese version is that the Japanese version is slightly longer. Right here, it says the Japanese runtime is 81 minutes and 34 seconds. Let's see. I can't do the math here, but I know for one thing, the English dub runtime is 79 minutes. And yeah, it's pretty much, it's always sometimes This just happens too often with movies that have different titles and stuff like that. Like English version is shorter than the Japanese version, and which of most Godzilla films that have been released in the 1960s and 70s pretty much had a their own Japanese version that is uncut. But other than that, there are some things in the English version that just cut off from the Japanese version. I have no clue why, but I've actually watched the English version of this, and I couldn't get past the 10-minute mark because people kept calling Godzilla Gigantus. It was boiling my blood so much. I hate it. But it's a good movie nonetheless, even though that it may be low budget or kind of silly or goofy. I like tokusatsu films when they're goofy. King Kong vs. Godzilla was goofy. I mean, did you look at the King Kong suit? It's a rubber suit, you know. He looks pretty ugly, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was the Kaiju Movie Differences episode for Godzilla Raids Again. Oh, fun facts. Anguirus, when I was listening to some roars of the Anguirus roar, and it seems like that they were using an accordion to make his sounds. Kind of like how they used a rubber glove with a stringed instrument, bass guitar, to make Godzilla's roar. I think that they used an accordion for Anguirus. What do you guys think? Tell me about it in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed it.